there's a mess in here. Jesus. Doesn't look too bad, I guess. But never mind. Right, what are we doing? Yes. That's what I was doing. Increase the value of R1 to decrease. Right, so what is the resistance for that? For R1. There we go. That was a bit of fun. Anyway, right, I need to find what is R1. R1. Let's have a look at the schematic. R1 is 10K. Right, okay. I should do that then. All these are already out. Put in there for R2. Shit, where's it going? R2, there we go. 20K. Okay. So I've got to come close. Nothing in that one, that one. The low resistance values. $27, $20. Let's go for 27, shall we? And then R1. Let's change up to 15. Okay. Box. That just shot off somewhere. Lucky enough, I can lean over. I can't get my head in the view. That's hilarious. Right, okay, let's grab another one. So that's the 15. And I said about, I've only got 20 on that, didn't I? 20. Let's go for 20. When that light goes off, I really want to know about it when it's gone off. That should be the best one for this. Let's just swap that over quickly. R1. zooming on that a little bit. There we go. Let's bring it a little bit. Let's do that. My battery's not allowed to go. Fortunately, I did. Plug-inable power supply for these, so I actually have to just whip this one out quickly. Chuck another one in. It doesn't last very long, unfortunately. And there we go, we're back in the room, full battery. How about that? Right, there we go. Right, so I've just done R1. Now I'll do R2, which does say increase the value of R2. Just a bit cack-handed. Right, just try a little bit of flux on there. I'll get rid of that one while I'm at it as well. Here we go. There we go, that's better. Just wipe off some of the excess. Cool. It's not the prettiest looking solvent rack in the world, but I don't need it to be. Put this aside for a minute. Oh, actually, while I think about it. Right, that is looking pretty good in there. That's all nice and snagged up. That's all looking pretty good there. What I will do before I bolt this back together, I will just chuck in some batteries. Although briefly I could have plugged it into the battery bank, but there we go. So this should now not work. Of course it's not working. Why is it not working? Oh, this thing's going to be the bane of my life today, isn't it? There we go. Right, let's get some test probes out. Oh, I hate these leaves. Right, there we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So we have got 5 volts there. We have got 5 volts there. We have got nothing there. Oh, for God's sake. I bet let's come along with my battery bank. USB adapter. So battery bank. A USB dropby. Chuck that in there. Yep, that really works. Yeah, and that's running off a USB battery bank. Once again, I find myself in the position whereby this bloody thing is not fucking working. Oh, where did my emails go? Nope. Gonna minimize that one. No, 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 no. Oh, I must have closed them. grab that back in quickly. Oh, that's stupid. Look at that there. Now I get voltage on there, and that should now, in theory, yeah, stupid thing. I ideally want full pad coverage from that. So I can put a little bit of shite back on there. I'm going to pull that pad out, and then I'm just going to fill that back in again. Right. Let's see what we get now. Fully auto ranging. Five volts. 5 volts. Hell up to the yeah. Look at that. Right. Cool. So that, just a quick test. Just a... So I can be happy with that and be confident with that. There we go. In fact, let's just do a quick test to make sure they actually... Right. I'm going to leave it like that. I'm not going to mess around with that too much. I'm just going to put a little bit of shite on here and just give that a polish off. Lovely. I'm really not happy with how these flexible connectors work, I must admit. I mean, if it works, it works, but it's going to cause me problems. Then I don't want to mess around with it too much. The battery light definitely does seem a lot dimmer than what it did, which is good. That was a bit too bright beforehand. So I'm going to call that quits there and call that done. Lovely. And the other thing that was bothering me was that how when I close this up, I'm not sure if that's a Gameboy thing or what it is, but the bottom of that edge there was sticking out. And it's not a huge problem. Let me just move that back a little bit and hopefully that won't catch it so much. There we go, that's better. A little better. Just manipulate that over. They just don't fit great, do these patterned shells. I want to say because it just doesn't fit well at all, but they just don't fit. They're not great, I must admit, these patterned shells. It's not very healthy, that. Pull that in a bit snug at the bottom. Nah, make a difference. Still a bit of a lip just there. But never mind. As long as it still does that, that's what matters. There we go. It's got a bit tighter. I want a bit snug as well, a bit of a gap there. Look. There we go. Constantly testing every single time because I've had this so many times I've been doing this and just nipping up something wrong has killed it off or done something stupid, so. Last test. Ooh. Appear to have some weird discoloration going on. Now that is strange. Don't like that. Yeah, I've lost some of the colours, haven't I? Oh, for goodness sake. Why? Why? You don't have a successful run of doing something like this. More. Best have downstream cable. Gosh, with me. Anyway, let's just pop straight over. Look. I hate these bleeding bloody damn things. looks like. Trying to get closer to that, shortly. Here we go. I think any of these are broken. I just think they're cables in. There's nothing wrong with them. Ah, look. Oh, the ribbon cable's warped, look. Are you kidding me? I hate these things. Right, I'm going to have to get a bit low here and just try and tuck this and make bending it or making it any worse. Screws. That looks just about back to normal. Let me just game in. I think that's might have been all it was. will, just before I put this back together, just make sure that we're getting the appropriate voltage, because I was a bit concerned about losing the voltage across from the batteries to the DC jack over the MOSFET. So that's sound 5 volts there. There's sound 5 volts there. Just actually losing it's actually quite a bit of voltage drop across that. Shit. There's more. Well, I wasn't actually hoping for voltage drop across that. Shit. Why? Why is the question? That's 4.2 volts, 4.27, 4.9. So it's dropping about 0.7 of a volt across that the jack DC adapter. Right, okay. Which I just switch that off. Either the MOSFET isn't turning on, damn it, I'll pull it apart again. Well, it works, but I'm dropping far too much voltage across that. Far too much voltage. Which is no good. I can't be having that drop so much voltage across that. Like that. I just made a bunch of them as well, what an asshole. Shit. This won't actually fucking run. Oh, this is an awkward fucking thing, this is. So either the gate isn't turning on, the MOSFET's not turning on, or something else stupid's happening. This thing has been apart far too much lately for me to care anymore. It has proven to be a complete pain in the backside. Can I get around doing that? Ooh, don't like this. Right, I think that might just work. Oh, actually, I tell you what, let's not power it from batteries anymore. Batteries don't tell you how much current something's pulling. So let's get my little power supply here. And let's plug that in. I think that might be because it's pulling. Coming on and turning off. I think it's because my power supply is set to cut the power. Let me just turn it up to 4.5. Right. I get the schematic up on the screen. It's only pulling 100 milliamps from what is essentially a 4-volt power supply. That's dropping a lot. Right, what should we have on the gate? .19 volt on the gate. That's not right at all. That gate should be pulled to ground. Should be any voltage on the gate. Huh? What? What's going on? The battery in comes through. The MOSFET. What the hell? Have I completely bogged this? What is going on here? Let's close that page. Oh, there we go. Right. So I should be seeing no voltage on the gate, but I'm seeing 4.1 volt, which means this is the forward bias with the diode that's pulling it up. It's the forward diode, body diode of the MOSFET that's conducting. So I'm seeing 3 pin in, 3.6 out. So it's literally dropping across because that gate isn't being pulled down. Why isn't the gate being pulled down? The gate isn't being pulled down because it's connected to the DC in. DC in is that one. But then look at the DC in. No. That's not right. right at all. All right, so what's happening here? Power's coming in. It's coming in for the battery in point, which is this bit here. So you've got 4.3 volts coming in. That comes over onto this pin here. So I've got 4.3 volts there. That's then going through the MOSFET and coming out this point here. But the gate has got 4 volts on the gate of the MOSFET, which is not enabling or not allowing the MOSFET to turn off, to be pulled down. R1, which is this resistor here, should be pulling that gate down, but it hasn't. So I've got 4 volts coming in on the gate from somewhere else. The gate is also connected via a 100 ohm resistor here. Then looking at the diagram, there you go. Blue power supplies. Thermally unstable, so it's moving all over the show. Hey Google, how do I turn the screen of my Olympus Mark II OMD camera off?
To switch between the monitor screen and viewfinder, press the OI/LV button next to the viewfinder. To turn the display completely off or cycle through display views, press the info button repeatedly.
There you go. I'll just do that. I'll cover the viewfinder, it's easier. So I've got 4.3 volts on the gate. The gate is connected to the DC in. If the DC in is connected to the board on that pad there, which is got a reverse protection diode. But this is where it gets tricky because I'm looking at DMG-C here, not a standard DMG. Now, it worked on the DMG. On the DMG-C, the schematic is a bit different. This is the IPS I want for the CPU board. CPU, technical, schematic. There is no way this is troubling some. So it works fine on the DMG because it's a really simple circuit. Well, this is a bit more complicated. Fuck. What is going on here? I think we're probably best off just temporarily turning that off and just having a bit of a probe, I think, between the gate in there It's any place they can be getting any power from, isn't it? It's back from the DC jack. Because the gate's connected to the DC in. Via that power, which is pin 2. Yeah. So unless my diode didn't work very well. Oh yeah. That's a shit diode. It's conducting in both directions, that's why. Huh. But why? Yeah. There's the fact you didn't put a reverse polarity of the diode. I actually don't know. But let's whip the fucker off. try to anyway. I think the only thing I would personally be a huge fan of this tip. Right. I will just tidy that up. Wipe off the excess, and I will just as well do that clean up as well. So I can no longer see any voltage on there, but I am. Huh. What the fuck? That's just stupid and that's crazy. I'm gonna stop this dumb head in. No one's gonna watch me, are they? Right, let's. How do I cancel this? Don't know. End stream. There we go.